George Clooney has spent decades being one of Hollywood's most beloved figures, known not only for his acting and directing talent but for his charm, humor, and unshakable composure. But behind the bright lights and his iconic smile, something far more serious has been unfolding. Recent private moments that have now come to light reveal George facing a diagnosis that has shaken not only his family, but also millions of fans around the world. Sources close to the family describe a period of growing concern. George, who is usually full of energy and quick-witted humor, began showing subtle signs of exhaustion and discomfort. Those closest to him initially assumed it was his nonstop work pace catching up. But as the weeks passed, the changes became harder to ignore. Amal, known for her steady strength and calm presence, was the first to insist that George seek medical attention. What doctors found left both of them stunned. The moment George's doctors delivered the diagnosis is said to be one of the most emotional and heartbreaking scenes the couple has ever faced. Amal Clooney, a woman admired worldwide for her poise and extraordinary ability to handle pressure, found herself overwhelmed. Witnesses say she broke down in tears as the reality of George's condition began to sink in. For a woman who has taken on world leaders, defended victims of injustice, and stood strong through global scrutiny, this moment was different. This was personal, raw, and devastating. Amal's reaction wasn't just about fear. It was about imagining a world where the man she built her life with might soon face challenges that neither fame nor fortune could solve. George, ever the protector, reportedly tried to comfort her even while absorbing the weight of the diagnosis himself. Fans who have followed their fairy-tale-like love story could hardly believe the news once whispers of the moment began to circulate. When George decided to address the diagnosis and make it known, fans across the world were left stunned. Social media erupted with messages of support, shock, confusion, and heartbreak. Many people expressed disbelief, insisting George had always seemed like the picture of health. Others shared their emotional reactions, saying they felt like someone in their own family had been impacted. The Clooneys have always maintained a respectful level of privacy, so for news this personal to reach the public told fans everything they needed to know. This was serious, and hiding it was no longer possible. George spoke with honesty, revealing that he had been quietly dealing with symptoms for far longer than anyone realized. He admitted that he wished he had sought help earlier, but like many people who spend their lives dedicated to work and responsibility, he had pushed through the pain. His confession struck a chord with millions who saw themselves in his words. Amal stood by him during this revelation, still visibly emotional, but determined to match her husband's courage. Behind closed doors, the Clooney household has undergone a dramatic shift. Amal has reportedly taken on an even more protective role, reshaping her work schedule and responsibilities to ensure she is present for George as much as possible. Their young twins, who bring light and laughter into the home, have become an unexpected source of comfort. Friends close to the family say that Amal has moments where she tries to remain strong for the children, then moments where the reality of the situation overwhelms her all over again. George, meanwhile, has been trying to maintain as much normalcy as possible, insisting on staying involved in family routines and daily life. But those closest to him can see the toll the diagnosis has taken, not just physically but emotionally. For a man who has spent most of his life fighting for causes, directing films, and taking on challenges with a fearless attitude, this new battle is unlike anything he has ever faced. The outpouring of support from Hollywood has been immense. Fellow actors, directors, longtime co-stars, and even political figures have reached out with heartfelt messages. Many shared stories about George's kindness behind the scenes, his generosity, and his dedication to helping others. For Amal, these messages have offered comfort during moments when she feels overwhelmed. Friends say she has been deeply touched by the global love pouring into their family. Despite the emotional breakdown she experienced during the diagnosis, Amal has since shifted into a new mindset, one of determination. She has begun accompanying George to every appointment, speaking with specialists, and researching every possible treatment path. Those close to her describe her as a lioness, fiercely dedicated to ensuring George receives the best care. Her strength has become the backbone of the household, And even George has admitted privately that he doesn't know how he'd face this without her. If you want to stay updated on George and Amal's journey, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Your support means the world, and it helps us continue bringing you the stories that matter.